Well, good afternoon, viewers and listeners of the show. It's another episode of the show, and in today's episode, we have a lot to share with you because we all know that the podium is all about the activities and progress of the United Democratic Party. And last week, there were a lot of engagements by the party politicians, especially the honorable members of the 6th legislature at the National Assembly. There were a lot of engagements with their committees. We'll bring that in this episode of the show. We also would like to inform you that the Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda has received an audience, the Minister of Local Governments and Lands, Sirif Abbas Sanyang, at the KMC. Well, we also would like to inform you that at Combo East, the Honorable Councillor Abdullah Sow also made his victory celebration, and the engagements of the Honorable Councillors on the grassroots politics of the party. These are all programs that will be coming to the show in this episode. Well, in that aspect, first of all, we are going to the National Assembly, where our members of Parliament in their parliamentary oversight functions are engaging government stakeholders and the civil service to come up with new resolutions that will better clean the system of government. Well, in that aspect, Honorable Mahdi Sise, the chairman of the Human Rights and Constitutional Matters Committee, and his committee presides over an important meeting between the Attorney General, Minister of Justice, Honorable Dawda E. Jallow. They have a lengthy discussion, and their discussion was centered on what are the steps taken by the government on the level of implementation of the TRRC report on the alleged perpetrators of human rights. Well, the committee asked the Minister of Justice to prepare an update report on the status of ratification of Human Rights Convention by the government, and what are the challenges faced by the Minister of Justice. Well, in that aspect, Honorable Kante of Busumbala, the Honorable MP of Busumbala, also lamented about the draft constitution, which was kicked out of Parliament by the brown envelopes MPs. And he also advocated about how this draft constitution will be resurrected and revived, bring it back to the assembly. Well, these are all issues which was discussed by the Constitution Committee with the Minister of Justice, Dawda A. Jallow. Well, it was a great one, and this engagement is of great importance because we all know that the TRRC report, which is now pending with government, don't even say anything about. It's of great importance that these committees engage the Minister of Justice so that they will put it into consideration. Well, this was a great one, which is really of great importance and a concern to the citizens of the country. Well, this will definitely highlight that the honorable members of the United Democratic Party are really doing extremely great. Well, we are saying a great thank you to Honorable MP of Busumbala, Honorable Kante. Well, we're going to the KMC. Well, on the 22nd of June, it was on Wednesday, last Wednesday, the Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda received an audience, the Honorable Minister of Lands, Local Governments and Lands, Religious Affairs, Sirif Abbas Sanyang, and his team. They paid a courtesy call at the office of the Lord Mayor as the supervisor of the KMC Alcalos. Well, they have a lengthy discussion, and their discussion was centered on the pending issues of the renegade 16 alcalos of KMC. They also addressed so many other issues like housing and rental, and how to prop up the municipal court. Well, in audience or in attendance, there were 16 alcalos of KMC who attended the gathering and then lamented on the issues of how their office can really be assessed for them to have a smooth service delivered to the people of KMC. Well, the Alcalos has asked for support from the Minister of Local Government and Lands, asking him to help them with resources so that they will have a running course in their office. Well, the Lord Mayor also pledged on behalf of the Alcalos so that the minister will assess the Alcalos to make sure that they can really have a smooth service delivery in their endeavors to serve the municipality. Well, the minister on his part pledged to support the office of the Lord Mayor to pay special attention on issues raised by the Alcalos. Well, that was a great one, and they discussed so many other issues, which is really a common concern, which is a concern by the Alcalos of KMC. That was really good. And from there, we are going to the Fajikunda ward. Just as I told you that the grassroots politics by our ward councillors, they are doing extremely great. Well, Baba Jabi of Fajikunda has donated $8,500 to the Herbie Football Club for them to take that money and register to the upcoming Navitan which they want to participate in. Well, the Herbie Football Club is a football club residing at Fajikunda, and they work in hand in glove with the Ward Development Committee of Fajikunda by the Councillor Baba Jabi. Well, Baba in Fajikunda is doing extremely great. Just as I told you, they are the one engaging the grassroots politics. And Baba this week has also made a great move. They has also donated to the KMC almost 200 janitor pants with his WDC. This gesture was received by the KMC, and it is really a great one, which is a support to the KMC workers. Well, this is of great importance. We bring all this to your doorsteps because many people don't know that the councillors are also doing a great job. That is why the Podium want to make sure that they feature the activities of the Honorable Councillors. Well, in Laterkunda, also the Honorable Councillor Musa Ba also was having a big engagement with his Ward Development Committee. They were laying blocks to a project which they want to engage in these coming weeks. Well, Musa was one of the participants who were, working very hard, laying so many blocks. Well, this is of great importance. Just as I told you, the KMC councillors are doing extremely great in their wards. And what they're doing also impacted on the supporters of the party. Well, that is why we really want to make sure that we surface exactly what they are doing. Well, in Bakau also, the Honorable Councillor, who is also the Deputy Mayor of the KMC, Binta Jane Jallo, also, has donated refrigerator and many plastic chairs to the Gambia Police and Rescue Service of Bakau. Well, this gesture was a great one, and the presentation was witnessed by the Deputy Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Kajale Jane, and they made this presentation at the Bakau Rescue and Fire Service. In receiving the gesture, Superintendent Lamin Baji thanked the councillor and the KMC under the leadership of the Lord Mayor, and he said that this gesture will be of great use to them, and he thanked the Lord Mayor But the Honorable Councillor also and the Deputy Lord Mayor said that the fire service of Bakau are really partners of the municipality, and that is why it is of great importance to them to bring this gesture in their doorsteps. Well, coming back to the National Assembly within the 6th Legislature, well, on Wednesday, the 22nd, just as I told you that our Honorable Member of Parliament are doing extremely great. The Human Rights and Constitutional Matters Committee, again, with their chairman, Honorable Madi Sise, engaged the IGP, police IGP, which is Abdoulaye Sanyang, to discuss with him the level of police brutality in KMC. Well, their discussion hit to the core, and it appears as a tension when Honorable Mohamed Kante of Busumbala reminded the police IGP about the Faraba incident, the police brutality that claimed the life of 3 youths, and the recent incident of police brutality in his constituency, where a dozen of paramilitary are cited mercilessly beating Bakari Chati Boy, and he required for the paramilitary involved to face justice. He further asked for the list of the names of those paramilitary who were beating Chati, and he also stressed that justice has to be done, and the police IGP has to take responsibility to make sure that all these paramilitary involved will really face justice. Well, Honorable Yaya Sanyang of Later Kunda also raised very important remarks, reminding the police IGP what has transpired on the 5th of December, where the paramilitary aggressively attacked the UDP party militants at Lawyer Usainu Dawo's residence and threw tear gas canisters inside the compound, where so many militants and party executives are at the moment. He blamed the police IGP Abdoulaye Sanyang for sending the police to H.E. Dawo's house to spray tear gas. Whether it was on his directive for the paramilitary to throw tear gas or not, he blamed the police IGP to take responsibility. And he also said that it was because nobody was arrested or detained, so the police IGP has to accept the truth, and they have to make sure that police brutality to be reduced within the police armed force. Well, the police IGP, Abdoulaye Sanyang, can't accept the truth, and they exchange heated comments on how and why the paramilitary threw tear gases in H.E. Dawo's residence, where so many militants fainted and many of them were taken to the hospital. He said that there is a lady called Efo Fatu Mboob. This lady is still on his sick bed. He can die at any time because of police brutality. Well, the police IGP and his security institution representative were responding on the negative aspect and saying that on human rights complaints and security situation in the Gambia, when there is this type of act, whereby the police threw tear gas, he said that it's just to make sure that they disperse the crowd. Well, but the National Assembly member can accept to that. He said that even after that, there were police officers who were cited on the media celebrating on what they have done to the militants of the United Democratic Party. They saw how happy they were on the social media that they threw tear gas at the resident of Usainu Dawo. Well, Honorable Sanyang of Later Kunda really wants the police IGP to take responsibility and knows that all the police apparatus is under his command, and if at all he has given command to something which is definitely not right, he have to really accept. He said they have a procedure to follow before they throw any tear gas. So if the paramilitary have those procedures and they throw tear gas to the militants of the United Democratic Party or the civil society, well, the police IGP has to definitely take responsibility of that. All that the police did, with IGP said, all that the police did was to make sure that they just disperse the crowd. But Honorable Kande also made sure that he mentioned that the security of the police IGP has to make sure that there are measures taken, because he said that Mboob was also restored to the service. Like the service, the reform should be taken seriously, and there is no reform taken. And they all the time made sure that they take back the officers which really committed so many crimes which should not have been to the police service. But the IGP cannot accept to the comments that Honorable Kande and Yaya Sanyang we are trying to put him through. Well, it was heated to the core, but they also made sure that they requested from the police IGP that all the officers who are involved in police brutality have to make sure that they bring their names to the National Assembly and bring them to book to face justice. Well, it was really a good discussion, because we all know that police brutality is getting rampant in the Gambia, and there is no step taken. Well, that is why in this week, our honorable MPs has made very important engagements which is really of common concern to the Gambian people. Well, this was really a great one by the honorable members of parliament. They are really doing extremely great. And also Honorable Yaya Sanyang, who is also the chairman of the petition committee, also made a petition file to make sure that they bring to book all the corruptions which are done at the Gambia Ports Authority. Well, this is also a great one. Well, we're going back to the KMC, where the chairman of the Security Task Force of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, hold very important task force meeting with the security forces of the KMC. The agenda of the meeting was to reorientate the Security Task Force Committee of the KMC to be more reactive and more proactive in the preparation of facing their challenges to mount in peace and security in KMC. And this meeting was really of great importance to the Kanifing municipality securities, because we all know they have a difficult task ahead. So, and because of that, the meeting was of great importance to them. Well, last but not the least, the Lord Mayor Talib Ahmed Bensouda was invited to a football final match at Bakote Field, where the Bakote United were locking hands with a football team from Dipakunda. Well, this football match and final football match was really attended by the Honorable Councillor of Dipakunda and the Honorable Councillor of Bakote, Honorable Lamin Jammeh, and so many other militants of the party and residents of Bakote and both Dipakunda attended the football final. Well, there were so many items which were donated, certificates and trophies we are giving to you, to the youths, as good gesture. Well, this is what we have for you in this episode of the show, and we will come your way next week, whereby we will bring to your doorstep so many important engagements by the United Democratic Party. Well, goodbye and thank you for listening.